fun. That's more dancing than I've done in my whole life. Good night, Mr. Spoon.
Good night, Emma.
Could we, talk a spell? You too tired?
Of course not.
Good. Let's go to the porch.
Okay.
I ain't too good at this here fathering. I don't pretend to know much about it.
You're doing just fine.
I suppose the last thing you need is some stranger telling you how to live your life.
You're not a stranger. You're my father.
Elizabeth, the greatest treasure a person has is their self-respect. You don't have that, you don't have nothing. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Because there ain't no self-respect in hanging out with the likes of Lucas Malone.
Who?
Marshal Kane saw you with him at the dance.
It's possible. I spoke to a lot of men tonight.
The same man you was looking at in town the other day.
What if he was? I don't know what you're driving at.
I ain't judging you, Elizabeth. I got no right to do that, but there's something wrong you ain't telling me.
All right. I'm sorry. You're right. I do know Malone. I lied because I was scared. I was afraid if I told you the truth, you'd turn me away.
I'd never do that. What happened?
Daddy. I mean, Cyrus. Used to come into my room at night. When my mother was sleeping. He'd do things to me. I tried to make him stop, but he was so much stronger than I was. I wanted to tell my mother the truth, but I felt ashamed. I felt dirty. I thought she wouldn't even believe me, so I ran away.
How'd you get tied in with Malone?
I was 16. He took me in. He fed me. He bought me pretty clothes.
You mean he kept you?
Yes. I'm not proud of it, but I had nowhere else to turn. You sure weren't there.
How could I be?
What do you know about my life? What I went through, how I had to live? You're a man, just like all the others. You use a woman and then you judge her by your own rules.
Elizabeth, that's... Just calm down.
All I want now is to settle someplace and start a new life. I'll pack in the morning.
No, you won't. Beatrice and I was fools to part in the first place, and you suffered for it. Now, you're here with me, and it's going to stay that way. That's the way it's going to be, just like she wanted it.
Howdy, Emma. Whew, I'm starved.
I'll fix you some hotcakes.
Where's Teaspoon?
Delivering supplies at the next station? What's the matter?
I don't understand this letter he wrote. It says he doesn't want the money. He's giving it to me, all of it. We're leaving for St. Louis tomorrow.
That sounds like Mr. Spoon. What don't you understand?
He couldn't mean it. Nobody gives away $10,000. Nobody. Why would he do a thing like that?
You're his daughter. That's all he needs to know.
Teaspoon's not like anyone I've ever known. It's confusing me. Can I borrow your wagon? I need to get off by myself to think.
Absolutely. I see it's hitched up.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I've got great news, Lucas.
Well, you shouldn't have come here. Somebody might have seen you.
Don't worry, I was careful.
What is it?
That fool is going to give me the money. All of it. Look at this letter he wrote. Do you realize how easy that makes it? All we have to do is let Teaspoon go to the bank himself. He gets the money, gives it to me, I give it to you.
You believe this? They'll never do it. Nobody gives up a fortune.
He will. I know him. That's the kind of man he is.
Well then, you're a bigger fool than he is.
Listen to me, Lucas. I know men. It's my business. I know how they act. Teaspoon will give me the money. You don't have to kill him.
You going soft, Amanda? You all of a sudden developing a conscience? I'd say it's a little late for salvation.
Call it what you want. He's a good man. Go ahead and rob him. I just don't want him killed.
Well, I ain't leaving him to bring the law down on me, so.
Then I'll give you my share.
What are you up to? That old fool told you something, didn't he?
No.
There's more money, and you're holding out on me.
I'll kill you for that.
Now, you ain't playing with some tin horn camera here. You're working for me. You could do exactly like I planned. Well, you ain't gonna live to see that precious daddy of yours. You understand?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Nothing, Emma. I was just tidying up.
Lie to me. I saw you.
It's not what you think.
What kind of person are you? Why would you do this to Mr. Spoon? Why would you want to hurt him that way?
I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm trying to save him.
Save me from what?
Elizabeth was already ill by the time she reached the hotel. She was too sick to go on, but she wouldn't listen. She was set on finding you. It's a miracle she made it to Fort Kearney. Her room was next to mine. I took to caring for her. We used to spend hours talking. That's how I knew about Cyrus. Elizabeth and I led the same kind of life. I guess that's why I took to her. I never knew my own father, but the men my mother lived with weren't much different than Cyrus. I've told you a lot of lies, Teaspoon. But I'm not lying about this. Elizabeth was a fine woman. And I was proud to be her friend. I tried the best I could to help her. I'm so sorry.
Are you gonna turn Amanda over to the marshal?
I don't bear no grudge.
Even though she tried to cheat you? And they would have killed you, too.
That's right. She could have let him. Instead, she tried to steal the comb so they wouldn't. No, it don't make sense, but I've grown fond of Amanda. Facts don't change that. She cared for Elizabeth, and then she prayed over her. I feel as I owe her. Only score I got to settle is with Malone.
I don't know why we just can't take on Malone directly.
Because he ain't stupid, because he's got 2 hired guns and the law on his side, and because you'd be either dead or in jail. We got to force his hand, make him come to us so as we can deal with it.
What's your plan?
Well, the only way I know to get a snake out of his hole, give him what he wants.